Sam Stein, I mean, Harry Reid, what's behind all of this? Harry Reid calling these two brothers, quote, un-American. There are a lot of liberals in New York City that would disagree. There are a lot of liberals in New York City that appreciate what they've done on cancer research, that appreciate what they've done with the Lincoln Center, what they've done with the arts, what they've done in their lives. Un-American, where does that come from? What is going on with Harry Reid?
So I think we have to step back and look at the audience that he's trying to speak to. I don't think Harry Reid's trying to speak to all of America. I think he's trying to speak predominantly to Democratic donors. And he's trying to say to them, you need to chip in and help us out because we have these two conservative libertarian brothers who are funding a vast network of nonprofit groups, political groups that are going to bury us in these elections. And I think that's...
But what about un-American?
Well,
what actually tell the stories?
Can I ask what we would all be saying if Mitch McConnell called George Soros un-American from the Senate floor? If the Republican majority leader called George Soros un-American, I would be kicking him around this morning if he did that. Why do Democrats allow their majority leader in the United States Senate to call business people un-American?
It's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think that you're right, that there is a bit of a double standard here. And I will say that, you know, the big issue is essentially what do we do and how do we treat billionaires who are basically spending small portions of their wealth in the political process. And I understand where you're coming from. You say, well, they have every right to spend it. The question that a lot of other people have is, well, if they're going to spend it, shouldn't we know where it's going? And so that brings us to a broader debate, I think one that Harry Reid's trying to have, that other people are trying to have, which is how do you apply a little bit of transparency, or a little bit more transparency to this political system?
But why didn't we have, Sam, and this isn't about you, why didn't we have this conversation in 2008, in 2012, when Barack Obama got more money from more sources on Wall Street and the financial community than any other politician in the history of mankind? We didn't hear those stories in 2008 because the media was too busy coronating him President of the United States.
Not necessarily true. I mean, there was I personally wrote these stories about how Barack Obama contradicted himself on public financing in 2008, contradicted himself on super PACs in 2012, and now he's going to actually attend 2 super PAC fundraisers for the 2014 cycle. So Obama has been all over the map on here. There's very little consistency from him.